Hello, this is Tanmay, and today I'll be briefing you about what are segments and audiences in GA4 dashboard. So they are pretty much different from what we had in Universal Analytics of Google. As they are giving us now more power when we talk about the GA4 dashboard. So starting with the first thing, we'll just navigate to the report section of the GA4 dashboard. This is my demo account that I am using. You can also access the same. It is freely available for everyone who wants to explore Google Analytics 4. So as you can see now, right now I am inside the report snapshot section of my reports. You can navigate to the same, and you can see the data of the Google Merchandise Store being presented here. All the average engagement time, total revenue, and all these things are here. So if I want to create a segment inside the data that I'm getting here, so definitely I'll have to add a comparison here. Right now you can see it is all users by default. That's why it is coming up in this graph. If I want to add another dimension into the same, then it is include, and the dimension will be supposingly, I select country will be the dimension, and I want the users that are in that are logging in from, if I say Australia, I want the users coming in from Australia, and I'll, without adding a condition, I'll apply. So what you'll see that this comparison will be applied, and the graph will also get updated according to the comparison that we have. So the orange indicates country includes Australia and the users that are based here, and whereas the blue line will indicate the all the users that are there in the timeline. So you can see there's a slight graph. The users of Australia are very much less, you can see here on the graph. But what you'll notice that I don't have much power about how I am segmenting, how am I creating segments of data that I am receiving here. I can just compare two of the dimensions here. That is not very much powerful. So I'll show you how it's actually done using the explore section. It is very much suggested that for creating segments and audiences, you use the explore section. It will be very much powerful at your end. So to begin with, I'll simply create a free form. Now, this doesn't matters. Actually, you can go ahead and use any of the template, because we won't be accessing that. So for creating a segment, we'll click this plus button here. So when I'll click that plus button, uh, I'll be subjected to a similar model. Now, some things to note here. In Google Analytics Universal version, we didn't have an event segment at that time, because at that time Google was not tracking according to event-based model. But whereas now we are having three types of custom segments that we can create: user, session, and event. Event segment was not there in the Universal Analytics. And then there are other suggested segments that you can use if you really have to, according to your business needs: recently active users, 7-day lapse users, purchasers, and similar are also there. Right now, according to my use case, I will be creating an user segment, because I am creating a segment for certain users. So for the instance purposes, if I select users of a certain geography, and I select city, this time I'm selecting, and for adding filter, I'll add exactly matches. Uh, okay, so I'll just select this country just in case if this has data, we'll see. And we can definitely add or conditions here, and conditions. Okay, so this isn't having much data, so we'll try to add another country. New York might be having data, definitely. New York will be having some data in it. So after loading, you can see that there are 1.1K users that are from New York and that are accessing our website between 7 September to October 6. I have selected this data range. And what power that we have to our end while creating a segment in GA4 is we can add further more conditions and sequences. Right now, I'll be showing you how to add a sequence. So the users of the New York City that have a certain, supposingly, if I say a certain device type, and in the device type, I select device category, I select. So we can add this sequence that, okay, this is again, we are filtering out the users. So all the users in the New York City that have a certain device category, that now you can also see that we can pass a regex here. Now we are using contains, and here we'll be using, I want to track the mobile users, and I'll just select apply. So all the users in the New York that have mobile as their device category will now be displayed. 382 users. Now further also I can add another step. Now we have the data about users that have mobile in New York. Now we'll also select something else that clicked our certain link URL. And for this filter, I'll contain, supposingly, if someone hits this URL, and I'll apply this button. This will be definitely our support page. It can be one of the conversions according to your business needs. So as per the reports, we have 0 conversions for this. So what I'll do, just I'll remove this step 2, but definitely you can create further steps for the process. Now something to notice here, you can always delete this user and only keep users from device category mobile, and use the data forward. So this is what we have created, is a segment in the data that we are getting. And for that segment of data, we can publish an audience, build an audience basically by clicking this button. After we click this, we can select the membership duration according to your business. And we can also create an event trigger. Now, whatever audience we will be creating here, it won't be visible into your conversion section. If you want that to happen, you'll have to pass an event name here. It can be any event, like custom underscore my event. Feel free to replace this my event with your custom event that you want to trigger, use as a trigger, and then move to saving it. Then when you have done all these steps, now you can save and apply. Now one thing to note, this audience I created today, so after this, whatever data I am getting will only be subjected to this audience. It won't be collecting rhetorical data. That means the previous data won't be included in this. And once I create this audience, it will also be coming as a first party dimension to myself that can be used in the standard reports, that is the report section of the GA4 dashboard. Okay, so let me just close it. So this is the process of how to create segment, and from creating segment, how we are going to creating a proper audience that we can use. So once we have converted that audience and published it into an audience trigger and given it a name of an event, we can see it under the event section. That custom will be appearing if I would have created it. Right now, I don't have the access to create it. So when we'll receive that custom my event here, that audience, we can always toggle between the on and off state of the switch and decide whether it is a conversion for us and if it is not a conversion for us. Definitely a certain type of audience, if you are constructing a segment for it, we are filtering out certain audience, then it is kind of a conversion for your business. So if you move ahead to the conversion filter after clicking on the event of that type, you will find that event that you converted as a conversion will also be visible here. Now you can have some other data that is being coming, like add payment info, which is a conversion, has a 108.3% increase in the last supposedly time frame. So this was basically how we are going to create segments and audience. Always remember to use explore section for creating segments and not the reporting section, because explore section is much more powerful. So that's all. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.